Well, I finally did it. I quit my job. I wasn't sure if I'd ever see that day. I thought for sure something would come up, but it didn't. So Friday was my last day, and today is Monday. Right now it just feels like a long weekend. It hasn't really sunk in. But so yeah, another month and the adventure will begin. But until then, I've got a lot of work to do. I've got mechanical stuff that I need to do on the Jeep. I have a lot of stuff to do in the interior, so let me show you what I'm going to have going over the next month. So this here's just a short list that I put together. I came up with that in about 2 minutes, so I know there's a lot more that I need to do than that. To start with, I need to, I don't know if I'm going to start with this, but I need to rip out the front dash. I know there's a long and a short way to replace the heater core, but that's something that I'm going to have to do. I can't get around it any longer. It's not leaking on the floor, but it is making a mess of the windshield and the windows inside, and I can actually smell the radiator fluid. So I'm going to have to look that up and see what else I need to replace while I'm back there. So I'm expecting at least a day, if not 2 probably, so I don't rush things and screw things up more. Other than that, I am going to have to do the U-joints on the axle shafts, I think. And then possibly look at the drive shaft as well and see how those things are doing. I'm going to have to replace the seals on at least the front axle. That one is leaking. So that's another thing that needs to be done. I'm going to look at the brakes all the way around. I know that there's a problem there because I'm just not braking like I used to, so maybe I've just worn them down, or I don't think it's going to be anything major, so probably just a brake job on that. And then my rear door back there, or actually my front door, the lock doesn't work, so I'm going to have to replace that. Then on the inside, I've got to figure out what to do with this table. I was going to keep it this length. I really like this length. The way I have it set up here, I don't have any legs underneath, and it's very solid. So I've been kind of spitballing as to ways I can keep that without cutting it. The problem is it fits under my mattress, and I've already got other stuff under there, but I don't feel it because of the foam mattress. But the brake for the hinge is here, and the table extends way beyond that. So every time I lift up this lid, the whole board wants to pivot with it, and it makes it really hard to open, and then the board ends up bending really bad and might even snap one day. All that is laminate flooring that I glued together. I had it in the attic. It was cheap, it was free, and it actually works. I really liked it on our last camping trip, but I'm just gonna have to shorten it and then figure out how to make that work for me. So one thing that I bought recently were these tent pole legs. The reason that I got these, because they weren't the cheapest ones out there. They're about $20 a pair, but instead of getting 2, I got 6, because I can already think of a bunch of ways to use them. But they've got these rubber stoppers up top. A lot of them have that, but what I like about these is it has 4 sections, and so it makes it shorter when it's compacted, and I just like them a lot. So I'm probably going to use them as legs for the table. I'm going to use them to put up my tarp off the side of the Jeep, and I'm probably also going to use them inside the tent that goes onto the back of the hatch that I need to configure. So that's another thing that I need to work on. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but I have to work on the rain fly for the back of the hatch as well as the tent, both of which my mom made, and I just need to modify it and make it so that it's what I need, and cut off the extra material and put snaps and grommets on it and things of that nature. So that's also going to be in the works. I have to also put Reflectix and some felt carpeting on the back window and figure out an easy way to put that up and take it down. I've already done that here on the side windows. I've got the Reflectix and the felt behind it, and then I've got this tension pole to hold it up. It actually stays up without that, but I just put that on there anyway. I've already done it for the other window, and these I'm actually going to keep up because they don't really get in the way as far as visibility goes, and it's just better than taking them down all the time. But one thing that I'm thinking about doing is putting a table that I would cut here on this side of the fire extinguisher, but I would have it go the whole length of the window and then kind of fold down, and that way when I'm sitting back here I will actually have a table and then probably just hold it up by chains or something like that. So that's something else that I'm looking at. As far as the roof goes, I've got just about everything configured the way I want it to. It's just a matter of putting the right stuff in the storage compartment so that I don't have any wasted space, and then figuring out, you know, the best way to use the space underneath the where the back seat used to be. Another thing that I need to do is put up a curtain. I've got a lot of different ideas that people have given me, but I want to put a curtain between the back seat and, or I'm sorry, the front seat and the living space in the back. I did something really quick and easy when I stopped at a Virginia rest stop, so I know it's not going to be too hard to do, but I just want to make it so that I can block out all the light in case I have to. I don't want to call it stealth camping, because with all the crap up top, it's not going to look like I'm just sitting on the side of the street, but I'd like it so that if I'm at a rest stop that doesn't allow people to stay too long, that maybe I can stay a little bit longer without being too obvious and light coming out of the vehicle at night. Or for other situations like that. So I'll put some more thought into that before I design something, but I do have a couple of ideas. And then on the back here, that gas can's starting to peel and rust, so I need to completely strip that down, and then I'm going to probably paint it red and probably put some kind of rhino liner red, or I think they make, some company out there I think makes a red tough bed liner, and I'm going to put that around it since it does get jostled around, and that's the reason that a lot of these areas down behind here especially are starting to rust out. This is just from things brushing against it, but and a bad paint job. Up top, I'm not really going to do too much. Somebody did give me an idea of how to make these things, the holders for the roof rack, stay in place, which is why I have the bungee cords there. And I'm going to give that a try or come up with something else depending on what I feel like doing at the time. And then other than that, it's going to be things here and there. I need to also look at putting this mountain bike, which isn't real heavy. It's not an expensive one. It's a pretty cheap one. But I've decided that I'm going to put that on the back of the tire carrier. I really don't want to put an extra 20-25 pounds on the back of this thing. But I really want to bring a bike. I think when I'm out, probably in the open country, probably in the Midwest and out west, I'll probably go ahead and just take the bike and throw it up top when I'm driving around. But for the time being, it's going to have to hang off the back tire. And more than likely, I'm just going to use a heavy-duty ratchet strap and keep it up with that. I'm not going to design a bike rack or anything like that, I don't think. But we'll see. I'll work it through it and figure out what I want to do and what's going to work out best. But so that's just some of the stuff that I'm working on. I've got a long list, and after today I just need to start getting at it, because 30 days is going to go by really fast. I've got other things to do with other people in the area and people that I want to see, so trying to compress all that is it's going to be here before I know it. So anyway, check out my other channel, Into the Unknown. I've just put a video up, and I'll put a link at the end of this that shows, I talk about my finances a little bit and what I can expect over the next year. But please leave your comments below, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.